hold on tight, because what just went down is something you just can't miss. In this blistering takedown that's already making waves around the globe, Jagmeet Singh, the leader of Canada's new Democratic Party, NDP, has been shredded by Palki Sharma, one of the most respected voices in Indian media. If you're not familiar with Palki, let me tell you, this woman doesn't pull her political punches. Known for her sharp political insights and no-nonsense approach, she's made a name for herself by going after the big players in the political world. This time, she's targeting Jagmeet Singh. He can run.
In fact, this has been the highlight of his political career, shoot and scoot. We saw that against India as well. Jagmeet Singh kept egging Trudeau on.
Hey, quick favor before we move on. If you find this political content interesting, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Most of you watch without subscribing and it's free, but it helps us out so much. Have you done it yet? Thanks a ton for the support. Now, let's get back to this amazing video. For years, Jagmeet Singh has carefully cultivated a public persona as a champion of progressive values and as an outspoken advocate for the Indian diaspora in Canada. But Palki Sharma has heard his latest comments on incoming US President Donald Trump and has decided enough is enough. In this fiery segment, she is tearing into Singh's criticisms of Trump, his controversial ties to the Khalistan movement, and his failure to take a firm stance on international issues like Canada-India relations. Trust me, you'll be blown away.
Donald Trump is a clear threat to Canada. His tariff threats are directly threatening hundreds and thousands of Canadian jobs. They also threaten to increase the cost of living at a time when people are already struggling with the cost of groceries and the cost of their bills.
So let's break down every jaw-dropping moment from this devastating critique of Jagmeet Singh. Does this mark a turning point in Singh's political career? Is Palki right to call him out and put him down? What does this mean for his future as a leader in Canadian politics? Keep watching to find out, and make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to stay updated on the latest political drama. Jagmeet Singh, leader of the new Democratic Party, has built his entire political brand on progressive ideals and vocal support for the Indian diaspora. But Palki Sharma just hit him with the hardest grilling of his career. Believe me, it is brutal. Palki Sharma has her own bold and unflinching style. As a journalist with a global reach, she has cultivated a reputation for being blunt, analytical, and scathing in her assessments of political figures and international events. Jagmeet Singh's remarks about Trump stand out because of her combination of sharp political insight and biting humor. Palki doesn't merely critique Singh's position, she tears him apart, piece by piece, with her incisive insight and cynical humor.
He is the political equivalent of a hammer, except he hits everything other than the nail.
In this video, we'll break down exactly what happened, why it's so significant, and what it means for the future of Jagmeet Singh's political career. You won't believe how this one played out. But before we dive into the details, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. So what exactly did Singh say about Trump, and how did Palki absolutely eviscerate him for it? Stick around as we break down the key moments from this blistering commentary and explain why Singh might regret those ill-judged words.
Is a failure in leadership. I put my plan forward. That's what we need. We need leadership to take on Donald Trump. We need strength. And one more thing. For Donald Trump, musing about the 51st state, Canadians have no interest in that. Canadians are proud of our country. We want to fight to defend our country. We're proud of the fact that we take care of our neighbor, that we've got universal health care, and we want nothing to do with becoming a part of the United States.
Target is Donald Trump. Listen to what Jagmeet Singh said, and I'm quoting here. "Cut the crap, Donald. No Canadian wants to join you. You come for Canadian jobs. Americans will pay a price." We say, forget Donald Trump. This is the real art of the deal.
Palki didn't just roast Singh for his poor judgment in attacking Trump. She also made sure to remind everyone of Trump's rocky relationship with Canada's own Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. More recently, Musk took to X, formerly Twitter, to tell Trudeau that he's no longer the Prime Minister. Palki brought this up as a counterpoint to Singh's attacks, highlighting how, despite his controversial tactics, Trump and Musk have managed to make Trudeau and the Canadian government appear impotent on the global stage.
He and his allies feed on the online banter. Just look at what happened to Jagmeet's former bestie, Justin Trudeau. He said there isn't a snowball's chance in hell that Canada would join the US. which is Canadian for no way. Now look at Elon Musk's reply. This is what he wrote to Trudeau. Girl, you're not the governor of Canada anymore, so it doesn't matter what you say.
Singh has often espoused progressive values. He has criticized Trump's divisive rhetoric, immigration policies, and handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. In Canada, the political climate tends to be less polarizing than in the US, so Singh's criticisms of Trump resonated with his Canadian supporters. He has painted Trump as a figurehead of intolerance, populism, and dangerous nationalism, three characteristics that have clashed with the inclusive values that Singh has championed. But journalist Palki Sharma has struck straight at the jugular, like an enraged cobra. Singh's controversial ties to the Khalistan movement.
Je suis prêt pour vos questions. I'm ready for your questions.
Are you suggesting that premiers and ministers should not do any kind of diplomacy with the incoming administration?
What's become clear is that meeting with Donald Trump does nothing. Ask Danielle Smith. She met with him, she tried to wine and dine him, and she came back and said, yep, there's definitely tariffs coming. So clearly that approach is not working.
Singh's vocal stance against Trump's policies and rhetoric is problematic. In spite of his controversial statements and actions, Trump has still maintained a significant base of support, both in the United States and abroad. Moreover, Trump's policies have also had a direct impact on Canada, on trade relations, and the Canadian economy. Singh's leadership and his attitude to Trump will have a long-lasting impact on Canadian politics. From his ties to controversial elements within his own community to his lack of action on extremism, Palki points out that people are questioning Singh's leadership on this issue. He claims to stand for peace, yet he has refused to condemn groups that have used violence in the name.
Our next story is a bit odd. It involves India and Canada, specifically the Khalistanis in Canada. Canadian Khalistanis have started whining. They're complaining about the difficulties they face while applying for Indian visas, and I'm not making this up. A separatist group is complaining about travel restrictions. They went and whined to a Canadian media outlet, which was happy to release a quote-unquote investigation about this.
Along that vein, will you or can you right now condemn Khalistani extremism? Not all extremism broadly, but specifically Khalistani extremists?
So I'm going to be very clear. People should have the right to peacefully advocate for independence. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Violence is wrong. And that's very clear. And what I've done in my life, people can see from the work that I've done, I've always promoted peace. I've always promoted opposing hatred with love. That's what I believe in. And it's very clearly my commitment. I'm a Canadian. I'm born here in Canada. My commitments are to working to build a better country here in Canada. People can make decisions about their independence in other countries, and that's up to them. What I can say about that is that I defend people's right to have that discourse peacefully and to advocate peacefully.
Singh has talked about peaceful protest and the importance of freedom of speech, but he has also supported extremism and violence. Palki isn't buying it, but she isn't done yet. She pivots quickly to another sensitive issue, Jagmeet Singh's stance on Canada-India relations. Palki calls out Singh's hypocrisy and his thoughts on Hardeep Niggar's killing and the blaming of India. Singh's refusal to take a firm stance against extremist groups in his own community has been a growing concern, especially for those who believe that a true, ethical leader should prioritize national security and peace over political convenience. So folks, Palki is turning up the heat. Palki didn't just ask a tough question, she exposed Singh's unwillingness to take a clear, unequivocal, ethical stance.
Classic shoot and scoot. Jagmeet Singh was convinced that India killed Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Khalistani terrorist in Canada, but the probe is not going to plan. Canada had arrested 4 Indian nationals in this case. Reports say all 4 are now out on bail. We're talking about men who allegedly gunned down a Canadian national, according to their investigation at least. And if that is true, how did they get bail? Apparently because evidence is lacking. Now, bail does not mean innocent. These men have not been cleared by Canadian courts, but it does confirm what India has been saying, that Canada does not have proof. Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh kept blaming the Indian government but they did not share any evidence.
Palki also criticizes Singh for his failure to mute or adapt his opposition to Trump. Singh's attitude to President Trump will surely impact on Canada's relationship with the United States. Palki argues that Singh's criticisms of Trump might be potent on the campaign trail, but lack the diplomatic sophistication required to navigate international relations. She suggests that Singh's rhetoric has often been simplistic. This is a piece of naive domestic political maneuvering rather than a sample of astute international statecraft.
He has led the New Democrats in 2 elections in Canada in 2019 and 2021, and both times they got trounced. Before Jagmeet Singh, this party, the NDP, had 44 seats. In 2019, they were cut down to 24, and in 2021, they got 25 seats. I guess he wasn't unplugged in those elections. Yet Jagmeet Singh is still the party leader, hopefully not for much longer though. Canadian media is piling the pressure on him. Just look at this op-ed in the National Post. This is what it says: Jagmeet Singh's future of irrelevancy cannot come soon enough.
What does this all mean for Jagmeet Singh? It's hard to see how he can recover from being roasted to a fragment of charred meat by Palki Sharma. His simplistic opposition to Donald Trump, his inability to take a firm stance on extremism, his failure to address Canada-India relations head-on, and his lack of leadership just when it matters most. To him, his country, and even the world, it all paints a picture of a leader and loser who may not be able to lead much longer. In short, Singh's progressive ideals have earned him support and even respect. But Palki has questioned his ability to lead on the global stage, especially given his limited diplomatic nuance. Singh's leadership is under fire, and the political future could be in jeopardy if he doesn't address these growing concerns. What's your take on this intense criticism of Jagmeet Singh? Drop a comment, like, and subscribe for more updates.